Hello YouTube, Gaming Goddess here with a review on The Sims 4. That's right, a simulation computer game developed by Maxis and The Sim Studio. This game was released on September 2nd, 2014 for Windows and is said to be released in February 2015 for Mac users. As far as just the base game, the first expansion pack was also released this year. The Sims 4 shares some of the same concepts as its predecessor, The Sims 3, so with that being said, let's get into the review. For those who don't know what The Sims is, it's a life simulation video game where you can take control of life. The Sims 4 takes creation to an entirely different level than previous sim games. Our Sims can have a unique way of walking, though there aren't too many to choose from. It's still a really cool feature in the game. We can set our personality, which is still a feature in the game, but we have a few different traits. The game gives you tons of options for customizing your Sim's physical appearance to look like anyone you want them to look like. I spend a good hour just creating a family in the Create a Sim option, so it really just depends on how much effort you want to put into creating the Sims that you are going to play, since there's different body types and different facial features that you can mess around with. Once your Sim is created, you are given household funds to either buy a pre-made house or to buy a set of property and build your house. This is why I love playing The Sims. I almost always start with a piece of property located in the town, and I build my house from scratch until I run out of simoleons. Getting used to the actual controls of this game was pretty tricky for me. It wasn't like previous sim games where I could drag a piece of furniture to flip it in the direction I needed it in. I had to use the less than and greater than keys on the keyboard to flip it. So this game seems to rely more so on the keyboard than just moving the mouse and clicking. Aside from that, once you get used to how the keys work, building can be as simple as previous sim games. We are given height options in the game, which is really cool since you can have a single story house with super high walls so it looks bigger. Just like creating a sim, building your house also has many possibilities. Finally, SimReal gameplay, which is pretty simple. It's a life simulator. You get a job, make new relationships, and create memories. With that being said, the gameplay itself does have some differences to it compared to previous sim games. The computer and your sim cell phone can be used to look for a job for your sim. We are given a few different options to choose from, such as entertainer, tech guru, secret agent, and criminal, just to name a few. There's a total of 10 jobs to pick from in the base game, so really you can just pick whatever job you want or whatever job your sim was made to do. Aside from jobs, one thing I noticed that was pretty interesting was the fact that our sim can gain skill points for just about anything. In previous games, Sims were pretty basic, but now playing video games can be a skill. Our Sims can also multitask, which is something that's never been done in a sim game before. And I have to say, I actually like this feature. Before, Sims were just so simple-minded and they would do their task accordingly. Well now, my Sim was able to text while she cooks dinner. It's crazy. Now the question is, does your Sim live forever? Only if you disable the aging feature in the options. So yeah, your sim can die of old age, but they can also die from embarrassment, anger, hysteria, starvation, fire, drowning, and electrocution. Those are just the different kinds of deaths in the base game. I know in previous sim games, as they added expansions, there are more ways for your sim to die. Now I don't always kill my sims, but when I do, it's usually so I can get closer to the Grim Reaper, which actually gives you an achievement if you are able to befriend him. That's right, this game has achievements, and some of them are a little weird. Who would have thunk that woo-hooing with a ghost would be so rewarding? As well as major achievements, we also have smaller goals for our Sims to accomplish. Let's say you go on a date. Well, in the upper left-hand side of the screen, there's a list of things that you should do on your date in order for it to be successful. These smaller tasks aren't too challenging unless your sim is just miserable and wants to fall asleep in the middle of her own wedding. That covers the gameplay. Now let's talk about the graphics. The Sims 4 has some pretty realistic looking graphics, but of course it's still only a game, and I don't know how much more realistic they could make it. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I don't want it to look too realistic, that it's scary accurate. I like the way the graphics are now. They run really smooth, and to be honest, I don't get any lag like The Sims 3 would get. Now let's take a look at the pros and cons. Pros. They added swimming pools, your sim can multitask, emotional depths have been added, nice smooth graphics, and just about anything will give your sim skill points. As far as the cons, there are no toddlers, so you get that awkward baby to kid age up like in The Sims 2 before they added the toddlers. Building and decorating the house was a little difficult at first, and it felt like there weren't enough personality traits to pick from. Now, just because I give this game so much praise, I will say that The Sims isn't for everyone. Some people really enjoy what this game has to offer, and others look at it, are you serious, another sim game? In all honesty, I can spend hours at a time just creating my sim and building a house. In The Sims, possibilities are always endless, and there's always some new internet challenge that simmers like to try and tackle. I wouldn't say I'm obsessed with The Sims, but I do enjoy it enough to play how I see fit. I don't just go and create a family and say this is how my life should be, because my life would suck. I'm always killing my Sims and trying to make their lives as miserable as possible. Like I said, possibilities are endless. Create and mess with life. It's the one game that I can play casually when nothing else is going on. I do hope they bring cool features with future expansion packs, and hopefully there won't be any more awkward jump between baby and child. With that being said, my overall rating for the Sims 4 base game is a 7 out of 10. I really do like this game, but again, the controls for building were a little difficult for me. This has been a Gaming Goddess review. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like. If you are currently into The Sims 4 or played any of the Sim games, let me know what you think in the comments below. And remember to keep on gaming.